It's no secret that Australia is home to some of the most dangerous wildlife on the planet. Snakes, spiders, and crocodiles are just some examples of the fearsome fauna of the land down under. What you might not find on too many travel sites are the frightening cryptids that call the lucky country home. First off is the Burrunjor. The Burrunjor is said to be a dinosaur that somehow survived to the modern day. It's described as a type of theropod that was first reported in the 1950s after mysterious tracks began being found in conjunction with missing livestock. Another major sighting occurred in 1985 after a family reported seeing a 20-foot-long Burrunjor specimen. Interestingly enough, the eyewitnesses described the creature as having feathers. Now I make a note of this because the first dinosaur fossils with feathers weren't discovered until the 1990s, which would make the inclusion of feathers awfully bizarre on the part of the family if the story is fictitious. Next up is the Bunyip. The Bunyip is described as an amphibious, chimera-like creature, with the physical traits of different animals such as dogs, horses, walruses, and crocodiles, just to give a few examples. Despite being amphibious, the creature is said to favor staying in bodies of water across Australia. The reported size of these animals has varied wildly over the years, with numbers anywhere from 4 feet in length to 15. It is also believed that the creature is nocturnal on account of the number of nighttime sightings of the beast. The creature gained the name Bunyip in 1845 after a report of the animal hit the papers, describing it as follows. The Bunyip, then, is described as uniting the characteristics of a bird and of an alligator. It has a head resembling an emu, a long bill, the extremity of which is a transverse projection on each side, with serrated edges like the bone of a stingray. Its body and legs partake of the nature of the alligator. Its hind legs are remarkably thick and strong, and the forelegs are much longer, but still of great strength. The extremities are furnished with long claws, but they say its usual method of killing its prey is by hugging it to death. When in the water, it swims like a frog, and when on shore, it walks on its hind legs with its head erect, in which position it measures 12 or 13 feet in length. At number 3 are surviving Tasmanian tigers. On September 7th, 1936, Benjamin, the last Tasmanian tiger in captivity, passed away. Despite this, in the over 85 years since, potentially surviving Tasmanian tigers have been reported and even photographed. The picture you're seeing right now was taken in 2019 near Victoria, Australia, and is said to show a surviving Tasmanian tiger. The photograph garnered quite a bit of media attention when it came out, but it has yet to be conclusively proven as real or debunked as a hoax or misidentification of some sort. Multiple expeditions have been launched in search of these surviving Tasmanian tigers. If you manage to bring one back alive, there's currently a $1.75 million bounty waiting for you. Next up is the Hawkesbury River Monster. The Hawkesbury River Monster is said to be a surviving plesiosaur similar to the famous Loch Ness Monster of Scotland. The creature is estimated to measure 30 feet from end to end and has patchy gray and black skin. Although the first sightings of the Hawkesbury River Monster came in the beginning of the 19th century, the creature really began to grab headlines in the 1980s when Australian fishermen reported that the cryptid had destroyed their boats, as well as the boats of other fishermen in the area. Whether this is a factual account or some very creative insurance fraud isn't known, but it did result in the Hawkesbury River Monster getting a new level of mainstream attention. Finally, at number 1 is the Yowie. The anomalous ape man known as Bigfoot has been reported all over the world, and Australia is no exception, with their own paranormal primate known as the Yowie. Like its North American cousins, the Yowie is described as standing somewhere between 6 and 10 feet tall, weighing in excess of 1,000 pounds, and being covered head to toe in reddish-brownish hair. Unlike Bigfoot, the Yowie is said to have razor-sharp talons at the ends of its fingers. The first sightings of the Australian Yowie came from the continent's natives, and the first encounter between the creatures and European settlers came in 1788. The settlers were quickly cautioned by natives to avoid these things at all costs. Given the unusually aggressive nature that the Yowie is said to possess, I would have to be inclined to agree with this advice. So, which Australian cryptids do you believe in? Are there any others you would have included in this list? Have you ever seen one for yourself? Let me know in the comment section below.